Oh, good morning. I guess I'm doing another PSA reveal. Um, usually, I do all my reveals blind. But yesterday was a rough day. I did actually two. I got a box in from my group submitter, and I had three different PSA submissions all come back. One, the oldest one dating back, I dropped it in the mail. It was like early December like 8th, I think, 8th or 9th of 2020. And it came back. He got it. It had some issues. It had five mislabeled cards. So it gets time to, that was in like May, and it took them, I don't even know, 3 months to reholder them and put the right tags in them and stuff. And then he got them back, and then there were some other subs that were getting ready to come back, so we decided to just just hold it and send all three at once. And so finally I'm getting them back, and these are subs that I mailed off in December 2020, January 2021, and February 2021. So the oldest one, 22 months. 22 months door to door with a whole bunch of, that's not standard backlog stuff. It was, there was cards that were mislabeled and blah, blah, blah. And then he had to hold them extra long and everything else. But anyway, suffice to say, 22 months. So I did a blind reveal yesterday. The memory card in my phone crapped the bed. Something crapped the bed. Both videos that I did were corrupt, would not upload to YouTube. And the grades I got, full disclosure, the grades I got back were absolute crap. So I had three submissions. I did two, and then I just walked away. And that was like the early afternoon yesterday, and I did not go back to this. I'm calmed down. I've thought about things. We're ready to look at these with new eyes today. So the first submission, we did have, it was 20 cards. I did have one min size do not holder. I don't know if anybody watches in my other videos. I measure all my cards now. I didn't 2 years ago when I sent these off. I measure all my cards now. I've had ones come back from SGC, Slabbed Authentic, that were, once I kind of figured out what was going on, found out that they were all short. So if we line that up, check this card. No, she's bang on for height, but very evident when you line it up this way, the card is too narrow. I think, like, moving forward, every card I send off now, I check it. This somehow just kind of ended up being the card that I'm going to use from now on. And it's not a trimmed card. It's an 87 Topps Barry Bonds. It's just an 87 QC kind of thing. So I do not for 1 second think this is trimmed or anything else. That's all it is. It's just the QC back then was terrible. I have other cards that have been slabbed basic or authentic because they're too small, and they were pack pulled by me. So I just know junk wax stuff. That's, you get what you get kind of thing. So anyways, full disclosure, I know all these grades because I looked at them when I did this damn thing the first time yesterday. So whatever, we're doing it again just to have something to upload. This is the way I do it. I get the card number, the PSA, how many times it's been graded, the breakdown of grades, the PSA gem rate, SGC gem rate for comparison, and my prediction. This is 81, and I'm just talking through it on the first one. After that, you guys can pause it. You can do whatever. You can ignore it. I really don't give a crap. 81 Topps, Tim Raines. I thought this this card originally prediction was an 8. As you can see, the centering is not great. Centering, like the top, bottom, left, right, it's not great. There is, if you can, I think it picks it up right in here underneath Bobby Pate. Well, now I got underneath Bobby Pate, you can see there's a slightly discoloration of the orange. The orange in there, the ink either is, I don't know, something happened with the ink, but it ran a bit, and centering on the back and stuff. So I predicted an 8, and then when I was like, oh, you know what, there's no way that card's going to get an 8. But it actually got an 8. And you remember this card. Remember this as a frame of reference for a few of the other cards in this submission. So the 81 Topps Tim Raines off center. The corners and edges were quite nice. But with discoloration and the ink and stuff right there on the surface, that's an 8. Remember that. Second card, 84 Topps Daryl Strawberry. I thought these were sharp. I predicted a 9 on both. 12.2%. And I've seen a lot of videos lately on PSA reveals, and everybody's like, oh man, like, oh, how come I got hammered on these cards and this and that. And I was just, you watch them and you're like, yeah, whatever. Like, you just don't look over your cards very well until you start getting back those grades. I think PSA definitely. I have gotten a few other submissions back in the past. Some with some like 1990 Marvel cards that I had an 80% gem rate. 5 cards, I had 4 10s on it and 1 9. This is not that. These orders are not like that. I 100% feel PSA has changed their standards, or just being PSA and wildly inconsistent. But there you go. Prediction of a 9 on both. This one also gets an 8. Might little bit harsh of a grade, I'd say. Because the left, right, center, like the centering on this one's quite nice. It's not perfect, but I think it's better than 8. And then especially these cards with the purple board, like you get a lot of white corners and edges, edgeware and stuff. Not on that card, but it still gets the 8. Same as the other one with the discolored surface. Whatever. I've never cracked and resubbed. But I think there are a few candidates in here that I will be cracking and sending to SGC, which is who I usually grade with. These were from like before I even started grading with SGC. Same card, 84 Daryl Strawberry. Nice centering. Well, actually, this one's awful. I think a little bit more left and right in the opposite direction too, of course. Same issue, or same back. The back is super clean, a little off center. This one's a little bit off top and bottom as well. But it also gets the 8. So I was wrong on those ones. 87 Topps Barry Bonds. As you saw, one of them, I think I had 4. One of them was min size, so that didn't get it. My prediction was all 9s, one of them was getting a 10. And yeah, I think with these ones, for the most part, centering. It's got the gray back. Tiffany's come with the white, the much whiter back. This is the gray back, but no wear. Corners are good. Everything is fairly sharp. Centering wasn't too bad. That's kind of the biggest thing that'll get these older cards. And we got a 9. So that one's not bad. I'll take that. You're talking cards from the 80s and stuff. You squeeze out anything 9 and above, I think is really good. Here, the same thing. This one was a little bit, I think you can tell, a little bit more washed out on the surface. But everything else about the card is pretty good. We pulled a 7. A 7 on that one, you say. Same card again. I would say probably the worst centering out of all of them would have been this one. But the surface was nice. Edges and corners are all good and everything. And this one also pulled a 9. So unfortunately, I don't know. If you're going by my earlier predictions, the one that had the min size might have been the one that I was kind of hoping on a 10. 1989 Fleer Scottie Pippen second year card. Pretty equal on gem rates between SGC and PSA. Not too bad on the bonds. Nice card. I would love to get a rookie of Scottie Pippen someday, but they are still a little bit out of my price range. This one I predicted 1.9 and 1.10. Pretty solid card. I would say top bottom centering would be what's off the most. Yeah. With these color backs, these ones are really prone to chipping and white corners and stuff too, but this one looks pretty solid. And it pulled a 9. And I'd be pretty happy with that. The top bottom centering and stuff. It's not a 10 card. This one, the centering is solid. Really solid centering on this one. Like a top and bottom, really nice. Side to side, really nice. All the corners are sharp. There's no white on the back anywhere and stuff. So this one would have been the one I thought was going to get a 10, and it also got a 9. This one, I would say, will be a Kraken resub to SGC. It may not get a 10, but just because, just with SGC having the option of getting a 9.5, if it's not a 10, still has the 9.5 option. Like, I would much rather see it in an SGC with a 9.5 grade than a PSA 9. I'd rather have a 9.5 than a 10. So, because most of this is all basically all PC stuff anyways. I don't really sell, so whatever. And PSA doesn't have the option of a 9.5. So I'd rather have it in a 9.5. If that's SGC, then that's SGC. 92 Upper Deck Michael Jordan. Gem rates are completely different on these ones. 3 times higher gem rate for PSA than SGC. Of course, you're always looking at the smaller sample size with SGC. They just don't grade as many cards and stuff, and that's, just the way it is. I predicted all 10s on these. They were all very, very close. The only thing and these are all, and also, any of this stuff? Okay. None of this stuff up to this card was stuff that I pulled in packs. This was from my, version 1.0 of, the Young Card Closet, opening packs and collecting and stuff. So these were all getting into stuff that I collected and I pulled from packs in 1992. So these are all 30 years old, pack pulled, thrown in boxes, and not forgotten about, but just set aside until all the craziness and everybody starts opening boxes and start looking. And man, I'm like, I know I opened a lot of basketball back then. And I think I had, probably eight or 9 of these. Picked out the best ones. I can't remember. I think there's 3 or 4 of these in here. And I predicted all 10s on these. The only difference, like, they were all sharp. They all had wicked surface, corners, edges. It's all the centering. And this one pulled a 9, which, that centering, I might squeak out a 9.5 from SGC. Everything else being equal and everything else being fine, that might be good enough, but it might not. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that. Can sit in a 9. Same thing. I would say maybe slightly better centering. Nice card. Everything being equal. And this one actually did pull the 10. It's not perfect left and right. I think you can see that. It is off slightly. It is a little thicker on this side, but good enough to squeak out a 10 at PSA. And I know I've seen a lot of people talking about stuff like, I want to send to PSA, but they have the 199 threshold for bulk. And then other people like, but you can squeak a card through that's like, $400 or what, I wouldn't be too worried about that without getting an upcharge. I have been upcharged from PSA on every single opportunity that they can. Like back when I sent these in, this was also $200 threshold. And I got an upcharge, and this is the card that got me the upcharge in this order. And when I contacted my group submitter, I was like, man, I got an upcharge. Like, what did I get the upcharge for? And he's like, that 92 the 92 Jordan. And at the time, of course, when they graded this, he's like, yeah, those were going for like $240. $240. So $40 over the $200 threshold gets me the upcharge. So I don't know. All these guys on there saying, oh, yeah, like you can go a couple $100 over and they won't ding you. I've been dinged every chance PSA gets, I get an upcharge. On any order I've sent in, I get it. So I don't... Whatever. That is what it is. Whatever. I don't really have, with PSA not having a 9.5, and for me the resale value not being a huge draw, because I really don't sell cards anyways, then pretty much I have no use for PSA. And I don't even like their holders and stuff anyways. They feel they're so thin, and they're just like a top loader. I don't like it. I don't like the size of them. I would like, my perfect slab is like a Beckett. I like a thick. It reminds me of like the old acrylic bricks. That's how you protect a card. I don't like these holders. They're too thin. They're too flimsy. Like I don't know. They feel like I could just snap them in my fingers, but whatever. Yeah. So another card, same thing. Centering, man, the centering on this one looks just as good as that one. Yeah, front, back, everything's solid on this card. What's that? Oh, that's a hair. And it also pulled a 9. So there, I think a couple of these ones, I'm going to have at least a few SGC submissions just out of these cards that I'm going to resubmit out of spite. I watch a lot of Alico 3, and he resubs stuff out of spite a lot. And I'm with him on that. I just want these things graded correctly. And that's not whatever. And that's probably not a 10 card. But PSA does not have a 9.5, which drives me crazy, because I feel like I'm looking at that card and I'm like, it's better than a 9. That's not a 9. It's a good 9.5. I would say that card has a shot at a 10. But it didn't. It got the 9. And this one got an 8. Like I would have said, well, whatever. Yeah, the centering on this one. Centering is not great. Left and right. Is it 8 centering? I don't know about that. I've seen some terribly centered 10s coming out of PSA lately. I don't know. I just find their consistency is right in the frickin' toilet. But whatever. I got a bad sub back, so I'm probably a little jaded. 92 Stadium Club. Michael Jordan, number 1. Yeah, not too close on the gem rates. I predicted 1 9 and 2 10s. I had 3 of these sent in. These are also all pack pulled for me in 92. This is the stuff that I absolutely love submitting. The stuff that I pack pulled. So this is exciting for me until I get a 9. Whatever. I think I have to, these ones with the full border picture, I'm gonna have to really take a good look at centering, and if any of these, the centering and stuff looks good, then I'm gonna crack and resub, because these cards are all sharp. I know that looks like a white corner. It's not. It's part of the picture. But these corners are sharp, front and back. There's no chipping. There's no edges. There's no white dots at the corners. There's nothing. These cards are fresh. And I had a pile. I used to love Stadium Club when it came out here. So I have lots of this stuff. These were the best Jordans that I had. And they will be getting sent, because this one also got a 9. I think at least 1 or 2. Probably pick the best one to send off. Same thing. Same part of the picture. So it might have been centering. Hey man, like, I'll have to check. This could be, it could be centering. This could be 9 centering on these ones. So that's definitely something I have to check. But other than that, like physically, the rest of the cards are perfect. So centering is the only thing that would throw these off. But that also got a 9. So 3 9s. 3 9s on all those guys. Same set. This would be the high number Jordan. I love that picture, dunking over Ewing. That's a great picture. But this is also very, very solid. Nowhere close. 3 times the gem rate for PSA. My prediction on this one was a 10. Super sweet. I love the foil at the bottom. Just adds that little extra bit to the picture, which is a fantastic picture. Rest of the card is rock solid, just like the other ones. And this one got an 8. So I'm assuming that's got to be centering, unless there's something really bad on the surface, which I do not think there is. So hopefully you'll see a PSA cracking out of the slab video from me. I don't know if I'll do that record that, but I will show all the cards I'm going to send back in. This is right when I got back. This is early 2020 when I was kind of getting back into grading. I wanted a Jeter. I looked at all my 93 stuff, and I didn't have a single Jeter rookie card. So I bought a box of the Pinnacle. Would have been Series 2. Specifically for this card. I think it's one of his nicest rookie cards. I just love the picture and the Yankees with the black and the white jersey, and then the black and the white border on the cards and everything. It looks really good, which also means it would probably look fantastic in an SGC holder with the black and white label and the matting around the edges and stuff. But yeah, I predicted both 9s. As you can see, it's off left and right. And yeah, that one pulled a 9. So that's a fair grade on that one. I don't have any issues with that. Here we go again. Same card, same box. Like, I think they were basically identical cards. But with that, but these might be, I don't know. I might crack and resub this, one of them, to SGC and see if I can't get a 9.5 on it, because it's the only thing that throws it off is the centering. Everything else about this card is, packed. Look at those. Like, look at the black on the back and the front. And look at those corners and the edges and stuff. And I know the surface was as clean as can be. So, and I also got a 9 on this one. But I'll probably pick the one with the better centering and toss it to SGC and see what can happen. Because, man, like, that's just a shame to not at least try with a card like that with the color, the black on the edges. Oh, man. Last card from this order. 95 Upper Deck, Kevin Garnett. I predicted a 9. I can't remember why. Oh, yeah, I do remember why. Right there. I think you can see it right on that edge. It's got a little bit of edge wear right there. Everything else about the card was pretty darn nice. No white dots, no anything else. So, yeah, I predicted a 9 on that one. I think the centering and stuff was really good. It was just that one spot on that edge. And possibly, well, no, it doesn't really look like anything there. It would have been just that one spot underneath the T right there. And yeah, so that one pulled a 9. So that's probably pretty fair. See, but then even with that, is it a 9? Or would it have a shot at a 9.5 if PSA had that? With that tiny little speck of everything else being good, if that's the only thing, would that squeak out it? Would that get a 9.5? I don't know. Maybe. We'll never know, because PSA doesn't have a 9.5. Whatever. Those are the cards. That was my first submission. I will be doing another one, provided this video also isn't corrupt. At that point, I will just probably take a drive, go somewhere, find a patio that's open and have a beer and just relax a little bit, because I'll probably lose my mind again. So hopefully this all works out. Talk to you later. Well, I'll be recording another video right away as long as this one works good. So talk to you later. Peace!